I'm Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com show, a weekly geek news podcast that is a part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 344 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, January 20th, 2019. My name's Chris. I'm coming at you live from snowy, mostly icy West Virginia. It's pretty crappy out. We went from rain at 4 a.m. to just a snap freeze and snow. It's bad.
Must be nice to have actual winter.
No,
it's raining in Idaho.
You know, I can deal with snow. That's fine. I don't like ice then snow.
It's fucking January and it's raining in Idaho in the Rocky Mountains.
It literally rained all day yesterday in the Appalachian Mountains.
We are destroying our climate.
I got mountains too here. I got mountains as well.
You keep telling yourself
that. You got shitty mountains.
And that was
Appalachian Hills.
Anthony is the elitist when it comes to mountains, saying
That's
the
right.
Rockies are vastly superior. I've lived in both. I prefer the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris.
The Appalachian are superior. And that coming at you, agreeing with me for once. Willie Nelson from... How's the weather in North Carolina? I don't know.
It's just cold. I think we're supposed to get some kind of cold snow, not snow, ice today, I think I heard. It doesn't matter. You want to hear a funny little tidbit I heard?
Willie's heard rumors of weather.
Willie's like, to know what the weather is, I have to go outside my house. And fuck that, I have video games.
Yeah, exactly. And do you want to hear a little fun fact about the Appalachian Mountain Range?
Let's get some fun factoids from Willie Nelson.
I just saw on Reddit earlier this week. Apparently, the same mountains that are in Ireland are part of the same set of mountain chain.
From when we were Pangea?
Yeah, and it's still connected underwater or something. It's like a whole mountain range. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Pangea. I remember some stuff from elementary school. It might have been middle school. I can't remember. But I remember some stuff from my geography classes.
When did you ever stop hearing about Pangea? That's the problem,
when
Chris.
I got out of school. I mean, let's be honest. In your day-to-day life, how often does someone come to you on the street? Yo, Willie, what do you think about Pangea? Do you get that? 4 times a day?
Just 4.
Just 4 times? Someone has randomly asked
you. I'm
you?
not saying times. I'm saying 4.
I don't understand what that means.
I think that's the point.
My head hurts so much now. It hurts
so much. If your head doesn't hurt from Willie, what am I doing with my life?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't even know how to recover from that. What's going on, guys? Anything good?
We're all here.
We're doing all alive.
4. Willie's doing 4.
And Willie's 4.
Well, that is this week's episode title. I'm doing 4.
That's this many.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For you listeners at home who are not watching the video podcast, I put up 2 fingers, then 1 finger, and then 1 finger. Not the finger you're thinking of. I'm not that rude this morning.
Or is he?
No, not at all.
If you don't believe him, you can go check out the video yourself. Go over to youtube.com/GonnaGeek and fast forward to the 3.5 minute mark, basically, and you can find out for yourself.
3.5 minutes only feels like it's been 1.5 minutes. That's awesome.
There's a joke that could be made, but I can't get the punchline quite figured out yet.
I'm not sure what you're thinking of.
Of course you're not. Of course you're not.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I really have no great way to open the show. I mean, I started it and then that I'm 4, and I just completely lost my train of thought and lost all semblance of being able to manage the show.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So you know what this usually happens? I usually have a story, right? So I should have a story.
Time with Willie?
It's kind of. I don't know how entertaining it's going to be. So I remember when I first started playing Magic the Gathering was way back in 8th grade. And then I promptly stopped after 8th grade.
So you only got 1 year of Magic the Gathering in.
And then about in 2009 to 2010, my roommate got me back into it. And then I quickly stopped that too because I found out once again that, oh, yeah, that's right. Magic is nothing but money, 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 money. Jesus Christ. And so my friends, they invited me out to, I asked if I could join. That's right. They didn't invite me because no one invites me anywhere. I asked them if I can join them with going to Friday Night Magic because that's where they said they were going. I was like, oh, cool. I just kind of want to hang out. You mind if I come with you? They said, sure. What I didn't hear was they didn't say Friday Night Magic. They said we're going to play Magic. I was like, okay. Well, and they were talking about the midnight release of the new set.
Oh.
So I was sitting around there like 7:30. I was like, are we going to Friday Night Magic? What's going on here? And then they said, no, we got to wait till midnight.
Midnight.
Like, oh, great. So I went with them at midnight. I was sitting down there. I was just going to hang out while they do that. And it was my friend Hannah, James, and Phil. And after a while, I was sitting there. I was like, you know what? If someone wants to buy the box for me to get into this, I'll do it. And then whoever buys me the box, they can keep the cards afterward. I'll just play with them, you know? Because you're doing like a little draft thing kind of thing, but just with the box you get and try to make the best deck you got. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do this for you guys, but you get to keep the cards. I did. They came with like a little 20-sided die. I did keep that though. I was like, Bill, you know I'm keeping this, right?
So what did you use the 20-sided die for after the fact? Just toss it for fun?
I mean, you never know when you're gonna need a 20-sided die.
You keep a D20 in your car for those random people.
You goddamn right.
It's how he now makes all decisions.
If he rolls the 20, he means he doesn't have to do anything and just collects $200 for passing go.
That's also 5 through 20.
Man, you loaded that die right there. So how did you do when you went to Friday Night Magic after having been out of the game for how many years?
A lot of years. Let's just say that. Well, my first matchup, I lost both. It was best 2 out of 3, or the best 2 out of 3 matches. Continues on. My first match was not too good because I got my ass handed to me. But the guy said at the end, I was like, just go ahead and tell him you won both times. I was like, what? He was like, oh, I'm leaving right after this, so just go tell him you won both times. I was like,
All right.
damn, I thought I was out finally. So I go tell him I won. I'm like, great, I feel bad. But what awesomely happened, the next match I had up was against my friend Hannah. She won the first match, and then I won the next match. And then we were tied, and we ran out of time because we couldn't finish. We couldn't even do the third one. They by the time the end of the second one, or by the ending of it, they're like, time's up. I'm like, damn. So I continued on after that, and then I pretty much lost one game, and I was like, you know what? It's 4 a.m. I think I'm done here. I concede, buddy. You just win. And that was that. And I kind of moseyed my way on home at 4 a.m.
Well, you had your own car, so you
morning.
didn't have to wait for someone else to drive you home.
Oh, yeah. I drove over there. I kind of figured stuff was good. Plus, also, was going out for food before we went and stuff. So I was like, yeah, went to Cookout. I know you know about Cookout, Chris.
I did. You told me all about it. I kind of want to
Oh,
go
that's
to
right. You
one
don't
someday.
know about it yet.
I've never actually been to one.
That's a problem, Chris.
Well, they don't have them here.
That's a problem, Chris. You need to move somewhere where they do. Or at least visit.
I don't really want to move. I own a house,
Or
and
at
I
least
work
visit.
here, and my fiance works here too.
Yeah, I don't think there's any restaurant worth moving.
You never had Cookout.
Oh, is it that good, huh?
And let me tell you just about the barbecue in general in North Carolina. Are you serious? We have two barbecue styles that are named from North Carolina places.
Lots of
Yeah,
good
I
stuff.
don't care.
Lexington style, which is from Lexington, North Carolina. And you got Eastern for Eastern North Carolina.
Ah.
I'm guessing on that second one, but I do prefer a Lexington base because it's vinegar based. Oh my god. I do love a good vinegar-based barbecue.
I'm not a huge vinegar-based barbecue sauce person. I think it's all right.
You more mustard? You more mustard-based?
Not more mustard-based, more the ketchup-based ones that are more of the sweet.
Ketchup-based.
Well, I mean, I think it's ketchup that's the base on.
You mean
I'm not
tomato?
100% sure.
I kind of see that a little bit. I mean, yeah. What kind of fucking weird barbecue place you got in West Virginia?
Well, I don't anymore. That's the problem. Is the barbecue place that I really liked closed down about 2 years ago, and then the chain one that I really liked closed down last week when I was like, man, I could go for some smoked jalapeno kielbasa. And then I looked up online and like, oh no, Dickey's Barbecue closed all of their locations in West Virginia. And I was like, no, and was
all right.
sad.
I got a question for Bachman.
What's up?
So I'm in North Carolina. Chris is in West Virginia. He's up more north than me. But what state would you say seems more rednecky? West Virginia or North Carolina?
Both.
Which it seems more. I mean, have you not seen that documentary, The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
No.
Oh, you should see that. It's a
I
good
saw,
movie.
what was it, The Outsiders? Saw the hillbillies that live in the woods and make moonshine. That was a fun show.
I thought The Outsiders was that movie with all the kids and like the greasers, and they run away from home. They cut their hair with their blades, based on the book.
That was an old movie called that, but that's not the TV show called that.
There's a TV show called The Outsiders? I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's the hillbillies that live in the woods and make fucking moonshine.
Is it like a reality show? A reality show?
No, it's
Okay.
It had the guy from Sons of Anarchy that played Opie.
Opie.
Oh,
The
Ryan
huge guy
Hurst.
that got killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Remember the Titan.
like the best friend?
Yeah, he was in it as like kind of the main character when the show starts.
I didn't know he died.
Well,
I
he
haven't
didn't-
seen all of it, and I don't think I'm going to go back to it, so I don't care about the spoiler.
Yeah, I'm not apologizing for a spoiler for Sons of Anarchy from like season 3.
I thought he was still going. I remember his wife dying, and like it was someone's fault, or like they thought they were killing him, but they killed his wife instead. But,
Yeah, that was like season 1.
yeah, but I thought he could. I just remember my most awesome moment is seeing. It was like, wait, is that Stephen King walking in the scene?
Uh-huh.
Pretty much
Like-
being the cleanup guy,
The cleaner.
the wolf
Yeah.
from Pulp Fiction, going back to
Yep.
Quentin Tarantino from the pre-show.
Yep.
Man, that was great. I was like, that is Stephen King.
What flipped me out was when I found out that Kurt Sutter played the dude that was in jail the whole time.
Yeah.
Kurt Sutter.
The guy
Who's
who's
that?
The show
showrunner.
creator.
Oh, is he anything else, or is that just like?
Well, he created and wrote Sons of Anarchy, starred in it, and he's married to Peggy Bundy, who also starred in the show.
I don't think that's the name at all.
Yeah, it is. I grew up in the 80s. That's her name.
Well, the show didn't start up till the 90s. I don't think.
This
Was it
show-
88, 89?
But Married with Children will always be where she's from.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, Married with Children, didn't that get started? Like, I thought it got started in the 90s, like 90.
That's probably the early 90s. Yeah, I was old enough to remember it.
89. I watched it too as a kid. When it brand new shows as it came on, I was there with you, but I was younger and better looking. I mean, it depends on who you ask. Ask the pedophiles; they'll say, "Yeah, that little kid looks great."
Oh,
Why are we
you're always gonna
asking-
make it creepy.
Why are we asking them, Willie?
I mean, I want to look sexy to somebody.
Gross.
So you bring up the pedophiles, as you put it? Why?
I'm not saying I went along with it. I was just like, I mean, I hope I look sexy to somebody. Ooh, look at that pudgy little fucker. Like, get back here, you pigly son of a
Oh
bitch.
dear Lord, I can't believe we're doubling down on this.
You know that's from Family Guy. What's his name? What the fuck
Mr.
is his name?
Herbert. You said the
Yeah, Herbert
voice
the
right
pervert.
most that I could remember. Yes. Herbert the pervert. Sailor Pullen points out in the chat room. It's the internet. You are sexy to somebody, Willie.
Oh,
See?
I try.
You try. You're good. You got that big bushy beard. You got that mountain man look going for you.
I'm about to get rid of it though. I mean, I need to shave this. I need to shave this. I mean, this is only good looking when it's like 2 days after a 5 o'clock shadow.
So are you shaving the beard itself, or are you letting that go?
Oh, I need to trim this down too. I need to trim it down. I don't want to get it long again. I'm not trying to, but it's getting.
You don't
there
want to be
already.
able to braid your beard?
I do, but then I don't want it to be long at the same time. It's just it's a lot of work, man. Just a lot of work just being.
Sailor Poland, I really do enjoy your outlook on the internet.
Yeah, I need to pull up the chat.
For those that are unaware, I'll speak it aloud for internet posterity. Someone took a picture of me in my Unit 02 plug suit because I'm old and jaded. I know someone somewhere is jerking off to it. It is the internet.
Wish.
So that means that by that logic, somewhere someone is jerking off to this show. How does that make you feel, Willie?
I can only hope.
You can see.
That's creepy.
We found a way to make Willie's morning better. And now that we've made his morning better, we can just proceed on in to our news of the week.
That's a good segue.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
So really the news is that someone somewhere is jerking off to this show. Really nothing else is any more important to that.
All right, then now let's get into what I'm into.
But if we had to do some news of the week is that portion of the show where we run down what's in our minds, some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week that's of interest to us that we hope we can tell you about and you find interesting as well. So with all that laid out there and all the pressure to go first, Willie, why don't you kick us off?
Oh, okay. You heard me having all this trouble in the pre-show about having my news.
It sounded like you had two choices to go with, so you
I
piqued
had
my
two
curiosity.
two bad choices.
Well, then I'll go first if you're afraid they're
no,
bad. How
I'm
about
going first. No, they are bad. So my news of the week is this is my thesis. Yeah, I say the thing in the title. My thesis is. So who do you think Netflix's biggest competitor is? As said by Netflix themselves.
HBO?
No. Surprisingly not.
Oh, I know what you're going to say now. I remember this article. I will not speak because I know the answer now.
Bachman, would you have a guess? Who does Netflix say is their biggest competitor?
Hulu?
No.
Surprisingly, it's something that came out, 2 years ago? Maybe 2.5 years ago? I can't remember.
And then morphed into something else after it came out.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's when it got really big. And it's still going big.
So
I'm, of course, talking about...
Flickster?
No. So here's a hint for people. If you go on Twitch, it's the game a lot of people are playing. You'll see probably most people are playing and or watching it.
It started up a fortnight ago. Oh, wait, it is Fortnite.
Hey-o! A Fortnite.
So, yeah. So, apparently, Netflix is saying Fortnite is our biggest competitor. Just like taking away people's attention, from watching stuff is, that game. Whether they're playing it or watching it on Twitch or any combination of the two at the same time. Hell, they could probably jerk off at the same time too. I don't know what people do with their lives. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you are saying, I think.
Yeah, so they even mentioned it's not HBO, surprisingly, it's Fortnite.
So in the past they'd been saying HBO and that they wanted to make their entertainment on par with HBO, but I hadn't thought about it until I saw the article and until you mentioned it here, it didn't bring it back, that there are a boatload of people that are playing that game, mostly because it's on just about every console. It's on every handheld, minus a DS.
Yeah.
And it's arguably free. You can play for free.
It's also not on the Vita.
Is the Vita even supported anymore? I say that in full seriousness. I have no idea.
Yeah, it actually is. I'm on the Vita subreddit, and the people still order physical games. Like some companies actually put out physical games for it. Still, it's like they still go for it. And plus, I guess it is on the Vita because you can also do the remote play, which is a thing. Like if you're out on the road and you have a good Wi-Fi connection, you can hook it up and connect it and play any PS4 game you want.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd known that before, but so Sailor Poland in the chat room says Sony isn't making Vitas, but people are still making games for it. So it's similar to what I've seen with the Dreamcast. Then is that the Dreamcast is no longer supported, but people still put games out. Now it's not as prevalent anymore. But
speaking of the Dreamcast, let's go on a little tangent here because that's what I'll do best.
Tangentially related.
Yeah, I just saw recently that apparently there was a TV, 19-inch TV, I think it was 19 inches, TV made in Japan only, or sold in Japan only, that had a Dreamcast built into it.
Interesting. I was unaware of that.
Yeah, I saw a picture. I was like, oh, it looked like a one of those, the the Max, like that. Had all the colors to it, like on the back, like the kind of translucent kind of plastic, and they all had a bunch of different wild colors. I forget what they were called. Not IMAX, but Power Mac. Like where the monitor was like, back when the big monitor was not the flat screen. No one remembers this.
CRTs.
Yeah, I guess.
Cathode ray tubes.
I know you know what that means. But I guess no one remembers those things. Well, fuck you guys. But yeah, it looked like one of those. That's all I'm basically getting at. And tangent over. So Fortnite, everybody. And what was also why is this one of the biggest games? Because the mode that everyone wants to play is free. The mode no one wants to play, you have to pay for. Okay.
You want to know the real kick in the pants? I bought
have they even
that game.
released the game version of the game?
Yes.
I mean, I don't. Is it out of like green light? I don't know that.
It's still in a beta technically, but they don't put any emphasis into the Save the World game anymore. It doesn't seem like, because they're up to what, like season 9 of Fortnite, season 8 of Fortnite, and the PUBG variant of it, for lack of a better term.
Battle Royale mode, you mean?
Yes, thank you. I couldn't come up with the right term. I was struggling.
Don't worry, other people did it for you. It's called Battle Royale. You don't have to come up with a better name.
I appreciate it though, nonetheless.
It's just weird. Like they designed a game and then had a little multiplayer like part of it, and then they basically focused on the multiplayer and abandoned the actual game they made.
Well, let's call it what it is. They copied PUBG pretty much and put that mode in and made that free to play as a battle royale. And they saw it was making money because they put in like the battle pass. You had to pay for to get like more
and all the cosmetic shit.
Yeah, and I mean, it's work. People are paying the money, and I do like the fact that it's not like gambling, because when you buy the battle pass, there's no like loot boxes. You just have to level up by playing, and so you know what you're getting by what level you get up to. And I don't know. I remember one of the seasons when I actually got into it. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm going to start playing. I played it a bunch. You also earn the V coins in it, which you can use to buy a battle pass. And I think I earned enough battle coins, or the V coins, to pretty much pay for my next battle pass. So technically, you don't really have to pay for it unless if they're still doing that. I'm not sure.
I've never put money into that game other than when I first bought it, because I wanted to play the Save the World mode. And then, like, literally 2 weeks after I got the Save the World mode and started playing it, that's when like, hey, we're doing this free version where you can play the PUBG Battle Royale version of it. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. And then nobody was playing Save the World base. Everyone was playing Battle Royale, which is fine. But I was like, man, I could have just waited 2 weeks, had a bunch of people to play with on the free variant of it. Oh, well.
No.
And the only reason I even started playing or downloaded it was because my friend Cassie, she stopped playing Overwatch so much and started playing that. And I was like, okay, I guess I can do that because I enjoy playing with you and talking with you. So I'll switch over to that for a bit. And oh boy, that game is also not good when you're with Overwatch. You have two teams, and she's a player that if she's not winning, she's not having fun.
Gotcha.
And then so you go to Fortnite. Why would you want to do this to yourself? Because you're not going to win every time. Oh, there's some matches you just get killed off right away. And you're like, well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
I think the first like 4 or 5 times I tried playing it, like literally I would land on the map, start running towards a building, and sniper shot in the head, match is over. It's like, oh, well, that was fun. Let me go back into a queue and do a 5-minute load in, and eventually float down to the ground, and then get shot instantly, died again. That was fun.
I never thought the queues were that long on that game. I haven't played it much, but it never took long to jump into a game.
No, and I remember my first match I did. I jumped down. Apparently I would land near no one. I was just trying to find people, trying to still be in the eye of the storm. And then all of a sudden, I'm just running in like one of the valleys. This is like the original map, of course, before they did all the changes. I just running one of the valleys where like the water stream, you got the big hills on both sides, and just running down. All of a sudden, sniper shot, dead. Like, okay, well, that was fun. Didn't even kill anyone, but I was in it for like 5 minutes and just didn't see anyone at this time. I guess I was just in the wrong area.
Gotcha. I don't know. I've had fun with it the few times I've played it, but like I've talked about, my backlog of shame is so large that I've barely touched the game. And at this point, anytime I do touch it, I tend to get smoked pretty quickly because playing solo on that game and not having learned the maps and things like that, it's a bit rough.
There's people that have been living on it for months now.
Yeah.
And you just said your backlog of shame. I'm starting up a petition. That came up, from the Walk of Shame. I'm saying we should do a new thing, the Crab Walk of Shame. Or no, you can't walk away. You got to crab walk away.
Well, that'd be interesting. But...
It would be. It'd be funny.
How about you do that, Willie, and the rest of us will just watch?
You got me. I got no words. You got me. Do you think I could do that with my knees?
I guess you're going to have to try, aren't you? Willie's Crab Walk of Shame.
It ain't going to go far.
Oh, speaking of Walk of Shame, I saw a preview for a movie. They're bringing back Death Day. They got Happy Death Day to You. It has a sequel.
Yeah. You haven't seen that yet?
No, I hadn't caught the trailer for it. I didn't know they were doing a sequel.
I think I saw the trailer 2 months ago or last month, and I was like, okay. I didn't think it needed a sequel, but all right.
For those that don't know, the original Death Day is a horror movie version of Groundhog's Day, but it starts in the morning where a chick's doing a walk of shame, which is why I thought of it.
And I know, my thing's so far away now. I actually do have it over there. I did buy it.
A likely story.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me get up.
We can't see it. No proof.
I really hope he has pants on when he stands up.
You already saw me get up when I turned on my heat in the
I didn't pay
pre-show.
attention.
Oh, I'll pull my dick out for you when I get up now.
Oh, God.
All right, give me 1 second. Go on to the next news of the week, and I'll just be back.
I want to throw up right now.
Well, I'll
You
just
haven't
throw up
seen
into
it
your news of
yet.
the week.
Willie's news makes me sad, but not as sad as my news of the week, which I saw last night. For those listening live right now, I'm sure most of you probably know who George Perez is. For those who do not, George Perez is one of the defining comic artists of the 80s. He's been doing work ever since. He's done some of my favorite work on the Justice League and the Avengers. He did announce his formal retirement. Here is the quote he said on his Facebook account. With respect to future published works in comics and such, while it's been no secret that I've been dealing with a myriad number of health issues, diabetes, heart ailments, vision issues, etc., they have indeed forced me to, for all intents and purposes, formally retire from the business of creating new comic stories. It's kind of a sad day. George Perez, he started out, 1973, 1974 is when we first started getting involved in things, and some of the definitive looks I have for characters in my head come from the work he did on, Titans, or his Avengers work in the early 2000s when they redesigned the Scarlet Witch costume that was interesting. He's done all sorts of different work, and I'm kind of sad to see him go because he's been pushing out work here and there to this day despite his health issues. And all I've got to say right now is Marvel and DC, if you're listening right now, George Perez has retired. You know what the fans would love to see? A re-release of the Justice League Avengers crossover from the early 2000s. Kurt Busiek on the story and George Perez on the artwork. Make it happen. Everyone loves it. And it's a good homage to George Perez's career, which has spanned both the Marvel Universe and the DC Universe. So I'm sad to see him go, and I wish it was for better reasons than his health issues. Hopefully he's able to better get them under control since he's not having to travel as much for cons and stuff, presumably. But it's kind of a bummer. He's been one of my favorite artists in the industry, and I'm sure Anthony has better, more well-thought-out thoughts than I, seeing as he's far more attuned to the art side of the industry than I am.
Yeah, George Perez, he created basically the Titans that we all know and love. His Marv Wolfman was the writer, but it's Perez's art style that gave us Robin with pants, and Dick Grayson in the disco costume. All the Starfires, Beast Boy, all of them in the way we know them. And then, he's the team book guy. There was no artist that could do a splash page with 50 characters better than George Perez. And some of his layouts are just amazing, which is why he was one of the artists they brought in when they did a little book back in the 90s called The Infinity Gauntlet, which you all just saw done as the Infinity War movie. Yeah, that was George Perez drawing that shit back in the day when it was crazy shit. Yeah, it was him and Ron Lim did the first book. And then, he was when the two companies got together and decided to do Justice League versus Avengers, only one name got brought up. And both companies said, we can't do this unless George Perez draws it. Because both companies wanted to fight for one artist to draw their team, but both companies wanted George Perez. Which that tells you how well the man draws team books. Like, nobody does a team book better than George Perez. And yeah, it's sad to see him going, especially with health issues, because he's a comic book artist, which means he has no insurance. And unless he's stored money away, he might be in financial trouble, which is why the Hero Initiative exists, to help give money to comic book creators when they get in dire straits at the end of their life. Because these guys are independent contractors. They don't get health insurance. They don't have a guild. They don't have a union. When they're not under contract with Marvel or DC, they get paid nothing but the royalties from books that they're contracted for. And for most of them, that's not much.
So according to the article here, 2019 for the most part is going to be his final year of convention touring as he winds down, although there's going to be one, quote, make good show in 2020. So not much opportunity left. And while it seems like he's not going to be doing sketches and things there, he's accepting orders ahead of time equivalent to 5 sketches per convention day. So you have to book that through his broker, evidently. So there is still a chance to get some more George Perez artwork, but there's not a lot of shows left he's going to do. And he's come to a couple shows up this way, and he's always been incredibly nice and gracious to his fans. And I'm sure he'll be still happy to sit, talk, take pictures, sign books, and things like that. It's just the art doing it there is probably, I could see how that would become difficult if you're not feeling well. And one would probably think they're not giving their best effort then, if they're feeling like crap and it's not turning out how they want.
Well, yeah, knowing George Perez being such a consummate professional, if his health issues are making it to where he's not drawing up to a caliber that he finds, worthy, I would see him not wanting to do artwork at all, just because he's not going to feel good about the stuff he's producing.
Right. And looking in the chat room, Sailor Poland's kind of nailed it here when it comes to George Perez's skill in doing the team books, saying Perez could draw 50 characters, but he could make them distinct enough in their placement, coloring, and body language, and you could still tell what the hell was going on. His art was complicated, never chaotic. And I think that's a really good way of putting it. I mean, yeah. The story still was told quite well, even though you could have like 20 people on screen on a frame, and you'd be like, holy crap, how the hell are you pulling that off?
Yeah, his layouts were fantastic. I mean, Infinity War, it's half the Marvel Universe attacking Thanos, and at no point are you confused about who's who.
Right, same with the Justice League and Avengers book.
Yeah, because that one had a lot of characters in it. Man, he went almost full cast on both teams.
His run in the early 2000s on Avengers with Kurt Busiek is still one of my favorite runs because you had great storytelling and you had great art.
As that was when they brought back the Black Knight, right?
They brought back the Black Knight. That's when they brought Wonder Man back to life after he'd been dead for like 15 years.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the return of Simon.
Yep. It was really good. Willie, are you familiar with who George Perez is? Have you read any of the stuff we've talked about or seen any of his work?
Possibly.
Fair. I'm sure if you click on the link in the show notes at some point, it shows some of his artwork in there. You probably look at that and make, oh, I might have seen that before.
I know he's seen some of his artwork. He just may not remember the name.
Yeah, so I think the best way to sum this one up is how George Perez himself concluded his announcement. Here was his quote saying, "Long story short, I will be just fine. I've had a wonderfully good run doing exactly what I've wanted to do since I was a child. Now I can sit back and watch the stuff I helped create, entertain whole new generations. That's a pretty nice legacy to look back on. And so much of that is thanks to all of you, the greatest fans in the world. I am humbled and forever grateful."
Oh, yeah, and we forgot to mention a little book also. He did The Crisis on Infinite Earths. That small DC book where they decided the first time to ruin and destroy their entire book line and galaxy. Yeah, he drew The Crisis.
Team books,
the OG crossover. Like the first one that wiped a universe. He drew Crisis. Like, damn.
It's all about
and that had every DC character in it. It had all of them.
Wait, I think I actually might have one of those comics still somewhere. It's not in pristine condition at all, but I think I still have one of those somewhere, like back from the 80s or something like that. I don't know when it came out.
Yeah, it was 84. He left New Teen Titans to do the DC 50th anniversary event Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I just remember the cover was like, remember Earth in the background, like a
Yep.
bunch of different heroes flying out or something. Like,
Yep.
yeah, so I think I have that one. The thing was one of the crises.
I don't think you can pluralize that word.
I
It'll
just
hurt,
did.
It'll just hurt your brain.
There's been more than one crisis in the world in general. They need to have plural.
There have been multiple crises. So I'm sure George Perez is never going to see us here, but congratulations on a long career. Here's hoping you can get your health issues further under control and enjoy your retirement.
There's no way he's gonna hear those words. We were talking about pedophiles earlier.
Thank you.
No, not we. You.
Yeah.
We were talking about
You,
this stuff
not
earlier.
we.
No, that was
you,
you,
motherfucker.
That was you.
That was all Willie.
I think I heard Chris say pedophile too.
I asked why we brought that up, so I guess if that is considered me talking about them, I am guilty of asking why the hell we wwere talking about them.
That's fair. Wait, but before we go on, I do want to have a little statement here.
Oh no.
Fuck all pedophiles. That should be a given.
Thank you.
I'm making light of it, but I mean, yeah, but still, fuck them. Continue.
Thank you for that, Willie. And I have no way how to segue out of that to Anthony's news that I was trying to build up to. So, hey, Anthony, kick off your news for us, please.
Well, I guess those are some people. Most of us wouldn't mind seeing bloody deaths, so that works. How about we kill a couple of them in Mortal Kombat?
There you go. You brought it back.
Which fatality would you choose?
All of them.
Well, which one in particular? You son of a bitch.
All of them.
I mean, you could choose, of course, the classic Sub-Zero, just spine rip out, or you could do, what's the guy with the hat? I can't remember his name, where he spins his head on the ground and he pulls the people in crotch first.
Raiden?
No, he's talking about Kung Lao.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. I don't
Liu
remember
Kang's
his name.
ancestor.
Yeah, was this his ancestor?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
But
yeah, he throws his hat on the ground, spins around like a blade, he pulls their legs to him and crotch
none
first.
of those are happening because we have new Mortal Kombat and we have new fatalities and we have new characters and we have new costume customizations and we have new voice talent. Where No, shut up, Willie.
All right, fair enough. I got you. Go ahead.
The ex-MMA Women's Champion and current WWE Women's Champion Ronda Rousey is voicing Sonya Blade. So they actually got themselves a celebrity voiceover for the new Mortal Kombat, which is kind of cool. And then, IGN put up a ton of IGN and The Wrap put up just a ton of videos. They've shown the fatalities. They've shown intros, gameplay, all these characters. There's a stone, Earth Elementalist. There's a Blood Elementalist. And then one of the coolest videos they put up is there is now going to be character costume customization, to where they showed basically Scorpion and somebody going in and changing his mask to like 6 different versions of the mask, 6 different versions of the weaponry, 6 different versions of his chest piece. And apparently that's going to be available for all the characters in the game. And it looks gorgeous.
That sounds like Injustice 2, which they also worked on, because that's what they did too there.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks a lot prettier than Injustice did, to be honest. Just watching these videos, I mean, Mortal Kombat's they kind of focused on the horror movie aspect for a while. In the last couple of them, in 8, 9, and 10, they introduced Leatherface, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and then I think the last one they had the Xenomorph and the Predator.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
I think Leatherface, the Jason, the Xenomorph, and Predator were all in the same one as DLC, I think.
Were they all in 10? The last one, I
remember
think?
Freddy was in a game by himself.
Yeah.
Like he was DLC, but
Yeah, apparently for 11 they're going back to focusing on the non-IP or the IPs that they own for Mortal Kombat. And yeah, I mean Raiden, Sonya Blade, Baraka, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, all of this stuff, it looks fantastic. Like I enjoy Mortal Kombat every once in a while. I've never gone like overboard crazy with it. But this one looks, I mean, it looks good enough to buy. Like, just on the looks alone. Like, the graphics on this look fucking great.
No, I'm not that big on fighting games. Like, Smash Brothers, because it's a different type of fighting game, it's different style. Yeah, but, like, the regular classical 2-on-2, one-on-one, like, fighting game, it's not really my thing. I've played Mortal Kombat in the past. I'm not that good at it.
I'm pretty sure we've all played it.
Not
we're the generation I think we had to.
I was never much of the fighting game player because I was terrible at it. Between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and all that stuff, I never put in the quarters enough to sit there and learn all the special combo moves and crap like that in the arcades. So,
Oh, Chris, that was not the statement he made. He said we have played it.
I have played it.
Yeah,
But
we know you played it because
not
you're
much.
our age or you're my age. I know you played it. Anyone my age has played it.
Fair point. Fair point.
But now to think about it, the one I probably put the most quarters in was Killer Instinct.
Mine was the X-Men arcade game, or the Simpsons arcade game.
I said we're talking fighting games here, Chris.
Those
not
are
random
better.
bullshit
Fighting games are bullshit unless they're Smash.
That just means you were losing at them.
Well, that's true too.
I mean, but the greatest thing Mortal Kombat ever gave us, right?
Fatalities.
The song.
Oh, yeah.
do 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 do. Mortal Kombat.
I saw that movie opening weekend and I loved it so much.
Test your might.
The weekend that movie came out, I taught myself how to do the Liu Kang double chest kick up against a brick wall. I was like,
thought you were
that
about to
should
say
be possible.
I thought you were going to say the bicycle kick.
No, I mean I could jump up
That's
in the
not
air and
possible.
wiggle. I could jump up in the air and wiggle my feet, but
And then fall on your ass.
yeah, no, but yeah, I taught myself how to do the jump up and basically turn vertical or horizontal and kick a wall twice. Just was like that looks like it's actually doable, and I practiced it. Robin Sue was awesome. The guy that played Liu Kang was pretty fucking cool. For what ended up being a not great low budget video game based movie, but it was better than the sequel.
Oh god! Oh god! Do we even want to talk about that sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Oh, they added in.
Actually, Chris,
they
I'm going
replaced Raiden.
Chris, I have a request. When you go back and you hear me do the Mortal Kombat Annihilation, add in the echo effect with Annihilation. That'd be cool. Do that.
I didn't timestamp that shit.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now we're calling out production notes. When did this shit happen? But yeah, that's all I had. If you're interested in Mortal Kombat, if you're a fan, go check out the videos. If you for some odd reason missed the announcement, but yeah, it looks good. So if you're into the fighting games and you're not already totally addicted to Smash Brothers and incapable of playing anything else, you might want to go look at the new Mortal Kombat because it does look good.
Addicted. Don't tell me how to live my life.
You're addicted.
I'm just a dick.
Spending all day sucking people with Kirby. You weirdos.
I'm a Little Mac, aka One Punch Man.
He's One Punch Man, aka One Pump Man. Oh wait,
Oh
sorry.
god damn it! I got season 1 of One Punch Man over there. I didn't grab that. I should have grabbed it. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Chris?
I made a sex joke for you.
Yeah, you did. It was pretty good too.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. How many times did you win against Little Mac?
Who cares?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, now we're getting Smash Brothers trash talk.
I don't really.
You got it
care
right.
because I have no shame in that game. I fully admit that I am not a very good player, but I have fun playing, and that's all that.
Oh
really
yeah, that's
matters.
it.
And that's how I am on Dead by Daylight.
I'm so happy that my friends got my friend Hannah last Sunday. She got a Switch after the show. I went with her and took her over to get it, and she got Smash Brothers and Zelda. I was surprised she didn't get Mario Kart because me and her we get fucking competitive in Mario Kart.
Oh yeah,
Um,
nice.
But she got Smash Bros. Like, thank you for doing that because I need some people on my level. Because I just started choosing random and choosing my characters just because I don't want to choose the same 2 or 3 or 4 characters, every time. So I want to get to know other characters. When does Piranha Plant come out?
When does what come out?
Piranha Plant.
Next month,
He's like
I
the-
think.
I thought it was in January. Son of
Maybe
a
it's at the
bitch.
end of the month. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, he's supposed to be free if you registered your games within a certain time limit.
Yeah, I already registered. I just don't remember.
Oh, I did too.
But
I'm just waiting for it. I want a new character.
real
76 characters.
real quick before we spin off of the news of the week, a couple things to point out real quick that I just thought was entertaining. Did you guys see how Amazon was branding the latest season of the Grand Tour, the Top Gear spinoff or continuation?
Yes.
They had
Amazon's. Oh, sorry.
they had the greatest hashtag game going this week, which was hashtag Amazon's Hit Car Show. Now,
But
if
when
you
you
see
make it
that-
a hashtag,
If when you see it as a hashtag, it's Amazon shit car show.
well, it's all one word all together.
Yes.
So you're like looking at Amazon shit show.
Amazon shit car show. But they knew
car
exactly
show,
what they
right.
were doing because there were a bunch of immature idiots like myself on the internet that went, this is the best hashtag ever, because they got a
Like-
bunch of free retweets and people going, this is
I mean, how did you not see that Amazon?
No, Willie, they did it on purpose.
That you think they called it a shit car show on purpose?
Yes, it's an attempt to go viral.
Oh, it worked.
They played us, and I
Well,
fully
kinda, I
admit
mean-
that it worked. There's no way they didn't do that on purpose.
I mean, I'm not gonna watch it, but
Do you know
Well-
how much they focus group all that crap before they
There-
start doing all their promotions and stuff? They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, there's one of two options there. Either their social media director is the dumbest person on the planet and
Which
is now
I'm in the camp.
unemployed,
well, I don't know
or
that much.
the 18 people that work in that department decided, yeah, this is something that will go viral when we put in a hashtag and it has the word shit in it. Because people love poo-poo humor.
I don't.
Well, you're not people.
And plus, it's not literally talking about the subject,
It's not talking about poop. It's just using
Yeah.
shit in more of a derogatory term.
which
than-
I'm okay with.
Yeah.
You're
It's-
a piece of shit.
It's like the exact opposite of how South Park spun it up when they had the episode where they're going to say shit. And like, he's going to say it. He's going to... You got a bit of shit on the side of your mouth. I mean, come on. Two other things to touch on real quick. They're both under the trailer category. We're not going to go and dissect them here, but Spider-Man Far From Home trailer and John Wick Chapter 3 trailers dropped this week. Which one did you guys like more is what I will ask.
I still need to watch the John Wick one. So
I'll
Spider-Man
watch
Far
it.
From Home.
Yeah, I mean, I love the John Wicks, but I mean, I'm not getting all excited about it. I mean, I will watch it probably in theaters, but I mean, I'm a little worried about the Spider-Man Far From Home because I want to see less of Jake Gyllenhaal and more of the fishbowl helmet.
Well, we
But
don't
I
know.
know I'm not going to.
Look, the fact that they actually put him in the fishbowl helmet is awesome. Because let's be honest, when they said they were going to do Mysterio, or those were the rumors, how much time did you think he was going to spend in the fishbowl helmet?
Not enough.
Yeah, well, fair.
Yeah.
And those people that are going on the internet and complaining, this spoils the end of Avengers Endgame. We know Spider-Man's alive. Screw you.
You
Come
already
on.
knew.
You already
Yeah.
knew
You know-
Spider-Man was going to be alive, and it's all
You
said
know,
and done.
Black Panther's going to come back too. That movie made way too much money.
Exactly. Come on.
Anybody that didn't is an idiot.
The people that are going to permanently die are not the ones that are alive at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah.
And
The ones that
Excuse me,
permanently
are the
die
ones
have
that
more
are-
to do with contracts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not movie franchises.
That was the most frustrating thing is people that were legitimately seeming indignant on the internet that they put this trailer out. Now I know that Spider-Man's alive and I know that Nick Fury's alive and I saw them both dust. And I'm like, did you really think they weren't coming back? Really?
Well, the people that said they were actually like crying at the end of the movie because a comic book character died. They're fucking comic book characters. Nobody stays dead, dumbass.
that Spider-Man death
well,
still
Uncle
hurt,
Ben.
even though I knew they were going to undo it. It still hurt.
Uncle Ben is still dead.
No, he's been
not
brought
gonna
back.
resurrect.
They've done versions where he's come back to life.
I remember the only thing I remember seeing is like he came back as like a heavenly figure talking to Peter, and that's
Up
one
until the
thing.
90s, there was only one rule in comics. Only Bucky stays dead, and Ed Brubaker broke that rule. So there
But he
are
did
no
it in a
rules
good
in
way.
comics. Oh, no,
He
he
did.
did it in a great way. He gave us the fucking Winter Soldier. Because he decided there's only one rule in comics, and I'm going to break it and fucking make a good story out of it. Yeah, nobody stays dead. It's comic books.
Yeah. Both trailers, they're enjoyable. They both have slightly different feels to it because we all know John Wick's going to be rated R because of violence and presumably
yeah.
language. And there are some really fun moments they showed in the trailer, which are absolutely not at all what we're going to know. I mean, you've got John Wick riding around on a fucking horse with guns and stuff at one point, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I accept this.
Did,
And then-
did you...
I
sorry,
saw-
I saw it on Twitter. Did you guys see the picture of Dolly Parton and Keanu Reeves?
No.
And somebody put it up as a joke and said, True Detective season 4. And then
Oh.
Alex Winters retweeted it and said, well, this is one hell of a way to learn I've been recast.
Wait, Alex Winters?
Yeah. Like acting like it was the new Bill and Ted. He put it up and said, this is a hell of a way to find out I've been recast. I want to see the adventures of Dolly Parton and Keanu Reeves. That would be a great fucking movie.
Let me look this up. Images. Keanu.
Keanu can do anything. That guy's so
Why
much
are they
fun.
taking a picture together? Is
I
she
have
in the
no
movie?
clue. Maybe, who knows? If
Or is
he's
he just
writing a
meeting her?
he's riding a horse. Maybe he ends up hiding on Dollyland. There's no way of knowing. It's John Wick.
John Wick.
Crazy.
John Wick 3 is secretly a Rhinestone Cowboy 2 movie.
That would be awesome.
So, Bachman, I know you haven't had a chance yet. Go watch the John Wick 3 trailer. It's just a tease of some of the stuff they're going to do. Like, there's friggin' ninjas on Ducatis with swords chasing him down at one point. It looks really cool.
Ninjas riding Italian motorcycles? That seems...
They might not actually be. They look like Ducatis.
Racist.
I don't know if it actually is or not. I'm assuming.
I'll have to look, because that's weird.
I don't know my motorcycles. I don't ride one. I'd die. I would literally die if I rode one.
I mean...
Probably wouldn't die. You probably hurt yourself really bad, but you probably wouldn't.
I mean,
die.
when I lived in Belgium, I had a moped. That's the closest I came to a motorcycle.
I mean, you should get training wheels first.
Training wheels. All right.
Training wheels on a Ducati.
Yeah, I'd rock it.
Hey, whatever it takes to not die. But that being said,
that's why they make that really good safety equipment.
Fair enough. That does wrap up our news of the week. It's that part of the show where I do like to remind you guys that the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is in fact part of a network of shows over on the Gonna Geek Network, which you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. There's 25 plus different shows on the network that cover a variety of topics, be it general geek culture, specific television programs like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow, tabletop gaming, video gaming, all sorts of stuff. Just go check it out for yourselves. You're bound to find one show there that's going to meet what your tastes are. I guarantee it. But as much as I would love to tell you about every show on the network, I really can't do it. But what I can do is toss you guys over to Willie Nelson, who can tell you about one show on the network and give you a taste of it.
I mean, if there's anyone that's good at promoting a show, it's Willie Nelson. I turned one of my almost death into a promo for this show, so I'm the best at it. Right, Chris? That was a test, Chris. You passed. Good job. This week, I'm going to be talking about On the Bubble podcast. Episode 34, Why Were They Canceled and Canceled Sci-Fi TV. Author John J. Joix? You can. Am I saying that right, Chris? This is not a test.
I have no idea. Just go with it.
All right, Joix shares his expertise on North American TV ratings, plus why sci-fi and fantasy shows have always struggled for renewals. John is the author of Why Were They Canceled and Canceled Sci-Fi TV. That sounds pretty damn interesting. Back to you, Chris.
Well, thank you, Willie. And for those that aren't aware, On the Bubble podcast is all about shows that are on the bubble or were canceled and fan movements behind it and history of things that go on it. Josh does a very good job of putting it together. If that's up your wheelhouse, you should really go check it out. Or if there's certain things you're looking for show-wise, go check out his back catalog. He's talked about a lot of shows that you may like.
All right, that puts a bad taste in my mouth the way you said it. Up your wheelhouse.
I should have said in your wheelhouse. I apologize. Thank you for calling out my misspeak. I appreciate it. So go check out On the Bubble podcast and all these other great shows over at GonnaGeek.com. All of that being said, it is time for us to start wrapping up this episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. But as we wrap it up, we have a final segment for you guys called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you all who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into. So Anthony, kick us off.
All right, week 3 card is Leslie Vernon. I got to finish the colors today. We have the rise of Leslie Vernon behind the mask.
Time out. I just watched that last night.
Have you not seen it before?
No, I saw it before, like a little bit last year, but I just showed someone else that movie last night. That's fucking weird.
I love that movie. That's
I didn't know you were doing that.
Yep. So he's my third to last of the Little Killers. So I got to get the rest of the colors done on him today for this week's sketch card. Been playing a bunch of Overwatch with some friends. Playing a ton of Dead by Daylight. I streamed twice this week. Did some fun last night. Actually got some updates done with the Streamlab thing to figure out how to basically do a bunch of changes to it. And then there was weird server problems yesterday. But then once again randomly did a bunch of Survivor matches, and I ended the night with one killer match just to get my killer points of the day. I had just randomly picked the Wraith, went into a match, and ended up with 3 Jakes and 1 Dwight. And the third Jake that loaded into the match, his account name was Scooby-Doo. So the first person I killed in that match was Scooby-Doo. which was weird because my friend that was watching my stream happens to be a huge Scooby-Doo fan. And so it was very strange that I was killing Scooby-Doo in Dead by Daylight. But yeah, I highlighted that and put that up on my YouTube channel, so that was fun.
How much of a fan do you have to be a big fan of Scooby-Doo?
She owns like all the Lego sets they did of Scooby-Doo.
Oh God!
Like she has like the McDonald's toys. Like she's just a huge Scooby-Doo fan. Hey, people have their thing.
That's fair.
So been streaming a bunch of Dead by Daylight. Still working on getting just keeping up with my sketch cards. That's the goal for the year, to get my 52 done. And then doing some other random sketches, working on some other pieces. I got a couple I still got to do my buddy's kid's birthday present. I got to work on that today, now that I remember. And then I finally caught a couple of movies. I rented Bad Times at the El Royale, and I watched, what did I say it was, the 11th Halloween movie. So I finally saw the new Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis versus The Shape again. And yeah, enjoyed the heck out of both of them. Seeing Chris Hemsworth play a freaking cult leader was really cool. Like he doesn't get that guy, they're finally letting him do stuff other than just look pretty as Thor, and whenever the directors do, it's fun stuff. And of course, Willie's showing the DVD.
4K Blu-ray.
Whatever.
Do you actually have a 4K Blu-ray player?
No, I'm future-proofing.
Fair enough. I was just curious if you'd gotten one, that's all.
Yeah, but yeah, both thoroughly enjoyable, both fun films, very different films. But yeah, honestly, yeah, seeing Jamie Lee Curtis come back 40 years after Halloween now, like that woman, she's such a good actress, made for such an intriguing character development to see what Laurie Strode had gone through 40 years of basically waiting to murder somebody. Like, they did a hell of a job at that movie. I was way more impressed than I thought I was going to be. Yeah, that's what I've been getting into.
That's some pretty interesting stuff. So I will go next. I haven't really been getting into a ton of stuff. I've been playing around with a little bit of Tales of, which one is it? Vesperia? I always forget which Tales game it is I'm playing right now. But it's fun. And a little bit of Smash Brothers. Really, mostly I've been watching just a bunch of dumb TV, and my work schedule was crazy this week, so it kind of threw things off. I'm hoping to take tomorrow to get caught up on a few things and play some games and stuff, and probably this afternoon/evening I will be watching playoff football, sort of, while I play video games on my Switch. I have grand plans of things like that. Really, that's about all I've been getting into. Watched some trailers, and yesterday went Pokemon raiding. That was fun. I went 5 for 5 on my raids. I like it.
Is there a new shiny for this raid?
I was not able to get any of the shinies, but there was 2 new 5 stars in the gyms, and I never remember their names, but I got them both. One of them was like an IV of 93, so he'll actually be useful for me when I raid in the future. So go me.
Yay.
Yeah, the Phoebus event was going on yesterday too, and like Suncast says in the chat room, it totally sucked.
Yeah, it's Feebas. I thought it was always called, his name was Feebas.
I thought it was, well, there's only one S, so it wouldn't be Bass.
Well, they're Japanese. They're weird. They pronounce things weirdly.
Well, I guess that's possible also. I'm not 100% sure, but I did go Pokemon raiding yesterday, and then I accidentally made a guy at Tesla think I wanted to buy a car, so that was awkward.
Wait, what now?
So I was just kind of dicking around on the internet, because part of me goes, next car I get, I'm kind of considering whether I want it to be a Tesla electric vehicle or not, because I commute 70 miles a day. So I was like, and there's a supercharger here now too. I was sitting there, I was going, in the long term, it'd save me some gas money. There's the tax incentives. So I just started looking up some stuff. And I was looking at some of the pre-owned Teslas on their website. And this is where Tesla is very different than other like folks and dealerships that sell used cars. Is generally you can pull up the car on there, you can view all the photos they've taken of the interior, exterior, stuff like that, the Carfax. Well, when you pull them up on the Tesla site, it's just like the basic statistics and mileage on the car. And if you want to see the photos, you have to click a link that's request photos, where you have to give them your name and email address so that they can then email you a link to where the photos are. Sometimes they're on Dropbox, sometimes they're on another different website, sometimes they're on a car specific website. So there were like 4 cars. I was like, well, I'm curious. What's the interior look on these cars based off the mileage? Bear in mind, not buying right now. I'm just researching. So I clicked 4 different cars, asked them to send me some photos. And then I get like this long letter back. And the guy's like, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm here to help you buy your Tesla Model S. Let's get you in one. He goes, I'm happy to talk to you whenever you want. He goes, I can schedule a call for later today or tomorrow. And I was like, whoa. hold on. And I felt real bad. I emailed the guy back the next day because I didn't see it because I got the email at like 8 o'clock at night. I wasn't paying attention. And I emailed him back the next day and I said, first of all, I just want to give full disclosure. I am not planning on buying a car right now. I just wanted to look and get the lay of the land. I go, if I was going to buy one, it's still like 6 to 12 months out if I was going to do it. So I said, please don't think I'm wasting your time. I didn't realize this was going to send you an email that made it be like, hey, I want to buy a car. So I was like, I really do apologize for that. That being said, I had a question if you wouldn't mind answering it. This was this was Friday, and then the weekend came up. So I haven't heard anything back yet. I'm not really expecting to because I'm pretty sure, as I think about it, this is just something that auto-fired off when I requested. And it was kind of a form email that had some minor tweaks and stuff to it. But yeah, be careful if you are looking at pre-owned Teslas and requesting information on them, because I accidentally made them think I wanted to buy one right now. And that was not my intent whatsoever, because I'm sure they get a cut or whatnot. So
He saw your email. He's like, man, fuck this asshole.
well, I mean, that's possible too. But again, my intent, and I want to put this out there on the internet, my intent was not to start that ball rolling right now. My intent was just to do some research and look at photos of cars, because when I get bored, I look up random things on the internet. So my apologies to the advisor at Tesla that emailed me. Like I said, my intent was not to waste your time. Sorry.
They get an email address. They're just going in for the pressure sale.
Well, that was but of all the vehicles I asked for stuff on, none of the other ones did that. So my guess is it was the fact of I requested photos of the region where this vehicle was that he's like the pre-owned advisor for.
Could be.
Then it probably sparked something, because the other ones I looked at weren't in Baltimore. They were in other locations. So I don't know. I just felt really bad at first because I was like, man, this is not what I intended to portray. And yes, I realized it's probably just salesman talk to try and get me to jump on things right then. But I did feel a little bit bad. It happens. Willie, what have you been getting into, sir?
Well, I bought some movies this week, aka some Bad Times at the El Royale and 4K Blu-ray. And then another movie that was also mentioned earlier, I also picked up, Halloween, 4K Blu-ray. And then just because I saw it there, I was like, you know what? DC animated movies have been good in the past, except for Batman Ninja. That thing was hot shit. But I got the Constantine movie that's animated. I was kind of curious. It's Constantine City of Demons, the movie. Wow, it really says the movie on the title. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
And then I also bought Split digitally because they did not have it at Best Buy. I was like, you fucking serious? I was like, fine, fuck you. I'll just buy it digitally. And then because I bought Split because I was getting ready for Glass. Add an echo effect, Chris.
I'm on it.
Thank you. But yeah, Glass. I'm still digesting it. The ending was a little bit like, wait,
Was there
what
a twist at the end?
I'm not sure about I mean, kind of. I guess it is a twist, but it was. But when you see it. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I was like, so I'm still digesting the ending a little bit, but everything before that, I mean, is a kind of a slower paced movie, not nowhere near as slow as Unbreakable was, because that movie was slow. But the tension in that fucking movie, and Unbreakable, when the kid has the gun, like, oh my god, like when that got settled and everyone just kind of slumped down, I was slumping down. I was like, holy shit, that was intense. But Glass, I'm is worth a watch. I would say it's not worth the watch in IMAX, because that's how I saw it. Is like, there's nothing for IMAX. You can go to a regular screen and watch it. They'll say okay. But yeah, Glass is good. I've been waiting for Glass since 2001, 2002. Whenever I saw Unbreakable, I don't remember when I saw it. I saw it when I rented the DVD, or I bought the DVD. I can't remember which. But I still have that copy somewhere.
You didn't see Unbreakable in the theaters?
No, I was a little kid, man. My parents never took me to the theater. That's one thing I wish. That's why I go so much now, even by myself, is because I didn't get to go to the theater all that much. And that's one of my favorite things that as a kid to do, is go to the theater, and just never had a chance.
That was one of those ones that I still liked M. Night Shyamalan movies and went and saw it in the theaters. Like, wow, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah, my parents were hermits, so they didn't do that. Yeah, but I love movies. So I mean, I love going to the theater, seeing the trailers beforehand. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah. So I want to go see Glass, and it was a good movie. Like, I would say James McAvoy does take the spotlight. Yeah, it takes the light. If you get the reference from the movies. But Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis are in there pretty good amount. Like, I remember someone telling me before I went to go see it, the reviewer was saying that Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson aren't even in this really that much. It's mostly James McAvoy. That was wrong. I would say it's not evenly split.
Well,
no pun intended.
In all fairness, Sam Jackson plays one character, Bruce Willis plays one character, McAvoy plays like 24.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
he needs
24.
more screen time.
I think you actually see all 24 in this movie. I think.
Did it actually show? Does he do all of them? Wow.
I think so, because you've seen in the trailer they use the light thing from the trailers. There's no spoilers. They change. It makes it
to
forces
force
a
him
change.
to change. Because I think in Split, I want to say he did 12 different characters, and I mean, and that was amazing. Like seeing McAvoy do 12 like fully realized different character creations was fantastic.
I think there was even more.
Willie's
I
dying.
think it was a little bit more than that, just because
It might have been
Kevin,
12, 14, 15.
Yeah, Kevin, the Beast, Patricia, Dennis, Hedwig, and then if you really want to go to like those 3 that were in the videos they saw, so you can add those in, like because they were in there for a good little bit, like when she started opening up the videos. But I'm not sure. But what's funny is when the credits started rolling, you see a long line of names on one side. It was like, I see what they're doing here. And all of a sudden,
and then
James McAvoy on the right.
Nice.
Just by itself, I was like, oh, that was good. I like how they did that. And his name was, of course, first in the cast. So it was just funny to see that just first.
With all the characters he played.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Glass was good. And oh, my God, the Beast in it. You get to see more of the Beast. You get to see enough of the Beast to be, hey, I had enough Beast in this movie.
Nice.
And Samuel L. Jackson character, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. It's good. Yeah, I liked it. I'm still digesting the ending. I mean, it's not going to make me feel bad about the movie, but, or, start hating the movie or anything, but it's just something to digest. It's like, okay. And I also love the fact that they brought the same actor that played his son in Unbreakable, because it's the same amount of years has passed, and he's now an adult now, and so he's still playing his son in this movie.
That's cool.
I forget his name, so hate me.
Oh, Bruce Willis's kid?
Yeah, from Unbreakable.
The one that found out that he had superpowers?
Yep. And he's kind of like his Oracle, pretty much.
Nice.
Well,
Guy
cool.
in the chair.
I'm not sure
much.
I will go and see that until it's out on Blu-ray or whatever, but
That's fair. I mean, I loved Unbreakable so much. That's why I was going to see it regardless.
so Unbreakable
me.
is really the only Shyamalan film that I am like, oh, I love that movie. The rest of them, I'm just kind of like,
Excuse me, Lady in the Water.
yeah, that's
Oh.
I like that movie. I know. What about The Visit? That was actually a pretty good one.
no.
Lady in the Water was
Did you not
shit.
But what about The Visit?
I don't even remember it.
That was
I
a good
can't
one.
get past 10 minutes of handy cam, steady cam bullshit.
It's all right. It's when the 2 kids go visit their grandparents, and like they're going a little crazy or something.
Yeah, I
Was
don't
that
remember
movie?
it. I'll
That
be
was a good
honest.
one. I will say that was good. That was like the beginning of like Shyamalan coming back.
Fair.
Spencer Treat Clark. That's the kid's name.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure. Has he done much else besides Unbreakable and that?
He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was
Interesting.
Werner von Strucker.
Ah,
He's the one that worked for Hydra.
Gotcha.
What season was this?
Was it
3 or
season
2?
5?
Oh wow, that's way down.
Well, I haven't.
He appeared early on, then came
season
back.
5's already
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, I think he was on early and they brought him back. I think it was like season 2 and 5.
Okay, I gotta. Oh yeah, he was the kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they bring him back. I remember last time he got like trapped underwater in a submarine or something in the show.
Yeah, he comes back.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
And
I think Hydra resurrects him.
and I'm not afraid to admit this. If I were gay, I was looking at him. I was like, man, that is a handsome looking man. If I were gay, that'd be my crush right there.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I'm not. I'm being serious here.
Well, guys, looking at the time, though, we do need to start shutting this thing down. So thank you to everyone who did join us live today over on geeks.live. And also thank you to everyone who catches the video replay over at youtube.com/GonnaGeek or the audio version over at ATGNpodcast.com. Don't forget, we do this live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central on geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. And yes, that is an actual URL with .live. So before we shut this thing down, you guys have any final thoughts for us? Any pearls of wisdom?
Gotta shut this shit down. Gotta shut this shit down.
I expect the post-production work to go into this to add the echoes.
You tell me the
here he goes.
timestamps, I'll get right on it.
The whole episode,
Yeah.
add in echoes.
No.
The entirety of it.
No, that's not going to happen because I'm far too lazy.
You asked me for timestamps, and I gave you the timestamp 0 to whatever we're going to end on.
Do you even know what we're at right now?
Does it matter?
It does.
At all.
It does.
Willie don't count.
Don't or
Yeah,
can't.
I did this earlier. For you listeners at home, I put up 2 fingers again, and then 1 finger, and then 1 finger. Not the rude finger. I didn't
All
do
up
that.
his nose.
More than likely.
Well, you guys see what I'm dealing with here, so you understand why I'm saying bye, and we'll see you all next week.
Echo.
Bye.
Echo.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.